Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Gonna start just in 1 second. Gotta get a couple things set up. I do have this chat widget thing. I'm realizing it's not working at all. That's a bummer. So I can't really see if anybody's saying anything. 1 second. Stand by, stand by. Yeah, I can't seem to get the chat overlay working. So on my other monitor, if you have any questions for me, I should be able to see them in the chat, except for YouTube. I'm not going to be able to see. So yeah, if you have any questions for me as the developer, please go ahead and ask. I'm going to be doing some playtesting. I haven't done a proper playtest in a while. So I'm going to turn off debug mode and kind of just see what happens. It's too bad about the chat. Can't seem to see that thing. I haven't done I'm such a noob with streaming. Someone said, okay, I guess I'm kind of early. All right, I can see it now. Hopefully that works. I can see both, kind of. All right, but I won't be able to monitor my stream. This should be fun. Okay, so am I even in the center of the camera here? Yeah, kind of. So the cool thing, I love the start screen in Bushcraft Survival. It does actually go through a time of day cycle just here on the title screen. It's just, I don't know, it's so atmospheric. Let me try to stand by one more second. I'm just going to do like a half and half screen split between YouTube and Twitch. I should have figured this out beforehand. I apologize. But I think we're good. Hide player, okay. All right, I think now I should be able to see everything. So what I shall be doing is, if any Godot developers happen to pop in, let me make sure I'm not muted here. Yeah, I think I'm good. Then I can talk about some of those things I talked about in that Reddit video that I don't think anybody watched. But there's a couple things eventually I'm going to publish as tools, but right now I'm not publishing them because they're so jank. But someone was just asking me this morning actually about rigging. How do you do rigging? For my main character model, I actually have this rig tool that I use. So that's how I do that. Like I said, if devs pop in, then we can certainly go through some of those things. But what I want to do today is I've made a whole ton of changes to the game. Block stats true, skip steam false. I've made a ton of changes. I basically refactored just about every script in the whole game. So I really want to do a playtest to make sure the game still works. So we'll see if that is the case. You know what? Maybe I'm being silly. Maybe Restream shows me the chats. Oh, interesting. Restream shows me both chats, I think. Okay, so we don't have to do this other complicated mess. Hopefully this works. This is like my first time doing a multi-stream thing, so Maybe we'll leave stream elements up. Just in case. Okay. Why does it show that? Interesting. Restream is like way behind. It's like 7 minutes behind. Okay, never mind. I think we're back. All right. And we'll see chat here. Read and reply, multiple platforms here. Okay, cool. There was a message, but it's gone. That's okay. All right, so what I'm doing now is debug mode is off, so I shouldn't see the multiplayer. I'm gonna turn off the tutorial. And I'm gonna try to play the game as I want to play the game. I can't even remember. This is like full skill tree. So I think what I need to do is I need to delete my skill tree as well. I want to pretend that I'm like starting the game from scratch. So I'm gonna delete my skill tree progress, which is not something you can do in the game yet, but I think I need to eventually put this in as a feature because, you know, people might want to like, I don't know, people might want to like start from the beginning again. But yeah, so this skill tree controls debug. I'm just going to back that up and let the game relaunch. It's another good way to check for bugs to make sure that like the clean launch setup works. Probably didn't give enough notice for people to come into the stream. So one second, I'm just how do I get to my channel? Oh, I'm such a noob with this stuff. Let's see, Twitch. YouTube. All right. I think we got a couple lurkers. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do some playtesting. And I might make my video a touch smaller just so you guys can see the game. Would be cool. So, blah, 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 tutorial mode. First time playing, tutorial mode is enabled. After playing the game, the choices you make on this screen will become more clear. The messaging is not very good. Press play to jump into the game. Turn off the tutorial. I'm gonna play it on the hardest difficulty. And, ooh, okay, that's a bug right away. Okay, I just realized I left something in the debug mode. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of back and forth on this. I think it's under inventory. Or stats. Right now I'm making it so that you have the snowshoes and the sleeping roll right away, which is not correct. That's not how that should work. But like I said, I think I added it for debugging. I need to get a little better at locking this kind of stuff down. And to be honest, I think this part of the code might need to be refactored. It's just too messy. Here we go. Here's our tools. There's that. So it's actually been so long that I kind of forget where I put this piece of code. Which is kind of funny. Stats. I'm pretty sure it's here in stats. It's not under Bushcraft. It should be under save data. Yeah, it should be in here. I just scrolled past it too fast. Skill string, yeah. Unlock default. This is just temp, 15, 16. So let's turn that off. And I gotta delete this stuff again. So we're gonna delete that. Ooh. That's fun. See, when you do these big refactors, things just tend to break. So there's always that risk. Something about when I press this button, the other one's not getting hidden. So if I do HBox container hide, input mapping show. What's HBox container? Ah. Yeah, this is one of those classic bugs. I think... I don't even know what it thinks it's pointing at. Okay, there's the problem. It's pointing at the wrong element. So let's fix that. One of the big refactors I did is I changed over all of these to be named attributes, which is good and bad. This needs to change for sure. This should not be HBox container. This should be something more descriptive, like main settings. Sure, we'll give that a name, and then this becomes main settings. Main settings. Should get a couple errors. Would show at the start, and then yeah. Okay, should fix that. Probably going to encounter all these kind of little things. Happens when you do a big refactor. Overall, though, things seem to be okay. I'm not seeing any errors thrown, so that's kind of good. So turn that off, and then okay. So this is correct. This is what it should look like at the beginning. I will take some food and some water, and we'll try for 2 days. We'll see what happens. Set it to survival list. This looks to be working. This panel. This panel also seems to be... Oh, there we go. Okay. Why did I choose for this to be 1, 2, and 3? Okay, interesting. I think that's a little bug there. Array indices should start at 0, as any programmer knows. Okay, try this one more time. So if we go tool proficiency, woodworking, shelter. All right, good. So these 3 works. This might change as well. I really need to rethink the upgrade paths. That game design piece is still a little bit open. So we need all of these things. We're gonna need some food, some water, and I'll try to do 2 days. No point in taking any bait right now, because that's going to... We don't have a fishing rod, so why would we? Can't go any more there, can't go any more there, so we're a little bit under max weight, but there's not too much we can do about that. Without a fishing rod, we're gonna need food rations from the cabin, so I think this should be good. We'll see if all this plays well. One little change is you can see that there's like an animation smoothing between the different tools, so that's kind of cool. One of the things I want to get a feel for too is how punishing the difficulty is currently. I honestly don't know. It's been so long since I've played it, I'm not sure if it's too punishing, if it's whatever, so yeah, let's try to set down a place to be. I like to try to find some high ground, but it's sometimes very difficult to find. It's one of the complaints actually right now is that like everything is so procedural and so random that it tends to be very hard to find frozen lakes. It's hard to find, you know, places that you kind of want to get to. It would be nice if we hit a public cabin right off the start here, because then you can start a fire inside the cabin and you can regain some heat. So it's kind of a good way. So we're in a mild storm and we're running and we're gaining heat. So I have a feeling I should make notes. I have a feeling that the running, so let's make a note. So it's a mild storm, full running, gain heat. That feels a little bit, I mean, on the hardest difficulty, it feels a little bit too easy. There's a trade-off though. You will lose energy faster if you're running. I got a question. I've been playing a lot, but try to make bigger shelters. But when I try to make a 2-story one, it's hard to get on. Will there be jumping? If yes, when? I really want jumping. So one of the design problems with jumping, and I've kind of fixed it, if you noticed with the scroll menu on the bottom, that makes it easier to drop inventory, but I haven't gotten rid of like the space bar. We still need this kind of wheel menu. And normally on mouse and keyboard, space would be jump. So that's literally the only thing preventing jumping right now. I think jumping is a good idea, particularly for that exact case. Let me make a note of that, because I think I left it out of my dev notes. Jumping, add jumping. So yeah, what I really wanted to do was I want to fix this menu. There's not much here. It's only a couple different tools and your consumables are there. So I think I need a way to move that menu somewhere else. And once that menu is moved, I'm completely happy to make jumping. So yeah, there wasn't a real reason for it. Just the way the UI was coming out. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that everything is still actually functional and that I'm not getting anything. It won't look like a lot of visual changes, but I've actually refactored a huge chunk of the code. It runs a lot faster. I have this like potato Lenovo laptop, and it actually it runs on that. It doesn't even have a dedicated graphics card. So I think that's a good sign. What to do? Make another note here. The tab key is not in use. Oh, I'm gonna try that. I don't know if I can rebind during gameplay because I don't have the input map. But I'm getting something in the debugger here. Oh yeah, it's this whole thing. I'm gonna try that. Tab key not in use. Jumping in. Is my tab key in use? Good question. Filter by event, tab. It's not. Okay, we'll try it. Let's see how that actually works right now. So I believe this is it's not the interact menu, it's the wheel menu. And so right now it's mapped to space. Let's try tab key. See how that feels. Wheel tab key. Will the game be playable on bad computers? Yes, I hope so. I have a very bad computer. I have a Lenovo laptop from 2013 here that does not have a graphics card in it, and it can run the game on lowest settings. It's a little laggy, but it actually runs, so that's kind of a huge change. And you know what? Let's just put in the action for jump. I am curious. Like, jump programming is not an incredibly difficult thing to do. I haven't done it in a while. Let's see. Let's see how hard it is. Usually in the physics code is where you do it, and you just apply force, like. Yeah, you just crank up the velocity Y. So we're going to try that. velocity dot y. Yeah. All right. If input is action just pressed jump, we're going to hack this in. Velocity dot y plus equals, oh, it's going to be gravity. Oh, I got to make sure I do this properly. One sec. Where's gravity at? Yeah. Velocity is gravity times delta. If is grounded, velocity y is 0. Velocity y. Yeah, we got to do jump counting and stuff, but we'll get the basics in here. Okay. Yeah, so if input is action just pressed, jump, then velocity dot y plus equals, I don't know, what's a good 2 meters a second? What's a good velocity? Good jump velocity in game in meters per second. Yeah, we'll do like 3. See what that feels like. Oh, I put it on beginner. I didn't mean to do beginner. Okay, well. That didn't work. Why did that not work? Isn't this the wheel menu? It almost worked. We can have like single jumping as a mechanic, I think. Jump is space, physical. Let's check out where space is used. It's just that. Let's check something out. So in the HUD is where we should be popping open that menu. Did I forget to save or something? Let's try that. No, it's still doing it. Oh, is it because of the... Oh, it's because of the input mapping. Yeah. Oh, let's do this. Yeah, that's why. Okay. So, controls mapping, controls saver. It's a bit of a pain. Like when I update the controls, there's a couple other steps to get it into this, you know, input or this controls manager thingy. We have to add jump here. Normally what would happen is if I would push out a new version of the game and the new version would clear out your input mappings. So let's try this. And this should work. Yeah, so jump is here, jump is space, and wheel is tab. Cool, so let's see if this works. I'll be excited if it does, honestly. See what it feels like. I don't have a mapping for controller yet. I'd have to think about controller. I'm not sure if we have any free buttons on there. Oh yeah, so we can jump. There's no jumping animation. Which is kind of funny. And I think right now we can infinitely jump. We can go, ha, yay, woo. But that's kind of hilarious. So I think there's an easy fix for that. We want fall damage too. This goes so much deeper, so I'm actually going to make a note. Fall damage is in the roadmap, but I think fall damage becomes so much more of an important thing once you have jumping in the game. I think we want to do isn't there an is grounded and is grounded? I'm almost positive that's the thing. Godot character, how to tell is grounded. Is on floor. Is on floor. Yeah, I think that fixes it probably. Yeah. So there's no special, you know, we're not like looking at frames to maximize bunny hops or anything. But we're just jumping around in the snow. Once we get footprints, that'll feel a little better. Right now, it doesn't feel like much. Yeah. Ooh, I gotta get cutting some trees. I'm in a cold storm. I'm probably gonna die. I've been screwing around for too long. That's okay. Fall damage could be added later when there are more dangers of falling. Right now, falling can only happen when you're making a base. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's not really steep enough. There's not really steep enough mountains in the game to like fall off a cliff. That is something I want to do. I was talking with another designer about. Like, one of the issues with the mountains, if you look at them, they're cool. I'm really happy with how they turned out, but they need rocks. They 100% need rocks. So imagine that cliff face over there, right? But imagine there's like a rock, like a cliff jutting out of the side of it. And I think the way we're going to do that, it's going to be kind of tacky. It's going to be kind of cheap. But I'm going to like smash a rock mesh in there and put a collider on it. And it's going to have like a hard edge. I lost my tree. But yeah, I think that's how that's going to work. And once that's in there, definitely we're going to need fall damage. It's just like, there needs to be a risk reward as well. I don't want there to be just like added cliffs for no reason. That's kind of how I'm doing like every design in this game. I don't, because I'm developing it by myself right now, there's like, if I'm going to put something in the game, I have to be very careful about how I put it in the game, you know? I need some branches. I need some tinder, I think. Let's get a fire going. Some of this stuff is reworked. You'll notice from the playtest, some of this stuff might look a little different. Shit. It'd be kind of embarrassing if I died on my very first play of the game in like forever. Will there be seasons in the game? Not right now. There will be eventually in DLCs. So I want to get the game released for this biome. Right? I want to release this biome, make sure this is all perfect. The entire game loop works. The story's good. And then eventually, yes, there will be more seasons, which I think will be really fun. A lot of bushcrafting stuff is not in a cold climate necessarily. Oh, that's interesting. You can jump when you're crouched? Okay, let's fix that. You can't jump when you're crouched. If we are on the floor... Actually, you know what? We should... I think this needs to be... No, we'll leave it like it is. And is crouched... Crouched? Crouch. And not crouch. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. Oh, I'm going to get used to that control. I don't know. Tab is... It almost should be like you hold tab. Right? You hold tab, this comes up, you press tool, and then you hold that. But I think I'm going to have to work on this mechanic a little more. Oh, that's broken. What happened there? That is very broken. Add it to the bug report. It's not even throwing any errors. It just is broken. Okay, that's fine. All right, we got our temperature back. Probably gonna need water soon. I do have some. I need to think about a base here. Where do I want to go? think about where to put my fire. That would be like a good spot. I always fail to do that. One sec. I gotta make a note that sharpening animation is broken. Not really sure how that happened. Sharpening animation is broke. August 22nd playtest. I haven't done a playtest in forever. It's hard as a developer to do your own playtesting actually. And it works best like when you've taken a break from working on the game, because you come back at it with fresh eyes and you're kind of like, oh, that's too easy or that's too hard. Right now, I actually think the game is still too easy, which some people might disagree with. But like once you get over the initial learning curve, it still should have, you know, some challenge to it. Those are the coals. These are new. That looks kind of weird. What is scattering? I don't even know what scattering them does. It just gets rid of them? I can't remember. So yeah, the whole coals thing, you'll see them kind of spawn in. Fires basically generate coals. That's the idea. And yeah, it's a little gamey, but it brings in another element of the game. The coals can live on after the fire dies out. I need to fix this. This is like, when you walk near the fire, do you still get burned? Uh-oh, burn damage. Burn damage is not working. Okay, add it to my list of bugs. There's supposed to be burn damage. Did I turn that off? Burn damage is not working. Let's see what difficulty we're on. Settings. We're on survivalist. Yeah, I know, like, it always happens. Whenever you do, like, a big refactor of the code, you always get, without fail, something ain't gonna work. I really can't remember how the burn damage happens, where it happens. Here it is. So if global distance to position is here, let's see if this is getting called. Is this getting called? No. Uh-oh. Is fire not null and is fire output greater than 0.5? No, it's not null. Yeah, those things are true. That's a tricky bug. I don't know what's causing that one. Oh, it could be my center of mass is now higher. Let's try tuning this up. Oh yeah, there you go. Now we're getting burned again. Burn damage, I'll say sort of fixed. Probably needs tuning. Yeah, but these are the coals, so we can put something on it. Like if we wanted to bust out the pot, we can dig ourselves into the ground a wee bit. And the only difference now is before you would have had those green pad thingies. Now we want to place them on the coals. So you can put this pot right down on the coals. I think it's a little high, maybe? Yeah, I think it rides a little bit high, but whatever. It's fine. More than deserved subscription? Heck yeah. Thank you. Let's get some more firewood. Yeah, so I do want to do another playtest soon. The last one was public, and people in my Discord have heard me complain about this a lot, but I wanted 300 players, ended up getting like 1,300. So I actually had to close it down earlier than anticipated, just because I couldn't handle all of the stuff that was coming in. I'm happy to report that most of the bugs that were reported on are fixed, which is kind of cool. I think the game should be more stable now and look better and should feel better. Let's drink some water. I'm really burning my pot there. It's okay. Drink water. Still seems good. Food is going to be the next thing. If you want to do a 2-day run, you definitely need to think about food. And I want to think about a place to build a little fort. I think I like this little grove of trees. Cold and calm. Yeah, my intent with survivalist mode is that it was meant to be difficult, and that you could get around it one of two ways. Either by being a really good player, right? Or if you had all the right upgrades, then you could, use your tools to survive. That was the general idea, but right now I think I'm finding that's kind of cool. I actually like the jumping. It's kind of too easy, is how I feel. I really need to probably ask people about this soon. Sorry, I just checking my messages. This is really broken. I don't know what broke that. It's kind of funny how badly broken it is. I'm wondering, actually, if it's... Like I said, I tuned up the animation ever so slightly. Default blend time? So let's check this out. So there's two places where this happens. Here, if we put this back, and... actually, we can leave that in. That's fine. Let's see. No, that actually wasn't the reason it's broken. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be a cool fort location. Can't remember what restrictions I put on the trees, like where you can build or where you can't build. I really don't remember. Any moss on this? Ooh, moss. Give me the moss. I need some logs, is what I need. Yeah, let's chop down this guy. Oh, we're freezing again. Let's cut down this guy. For those of you who don't know it, the lock thing is very useful. You press, what is it, H or G? H, it looks like. I don't know why I chose H. With the jumping being 100% working, would it be realistic that you can't jump? Ah, yes. It should take energy. Thank you. You should be a game designer on this game. I'm a really good programmer, but sometimes I forget about really basic game design stuff. Let's take a look at energy. It should use energy. Yeah. That is a really good point. And I don't think that's hard to do either. Update energy is right here. So we have a rate for movement. We have a passive energy rate. We have a running rate. We could... it's almost like... I'm trying to think about how this works in real life. It's like jumping when you're tired is worse in real life. So I think we could set up a curve. Let's collapse all. We do globals. Where do I put that stuff? Prefabs. Character, maybe? Sure, we'll put it here. Create new resource, curve texture, 2D. I won't be able to use it on this run, but I'll probably mock up the idea. So like when your energy is... When your energy is at 100%, it's like you shouldn't use as much energy, and it should get worse. I'm a big believer in like the non-linearity thing in game design. I think it's like really what makes games fun is that like there's different conditions where things change. So I think what I want to do is when you're at 100% energy, jumping really doesn't use that much energy, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. And actually, maybe when your energy is a little bit warmed up, like maybe after you've used a bit of energy, you get into this territory right here where like it uses almost no energy. But then when you get tired, it's just like your legs turn into rubber. Yeah, let's try that. Tea or coffee, great ideas. To do tea or coffee, I think would be pretty simple. There's a couple ways. You could either take coffee with you, and it wouldn't take up much weight, but it might take up some space in your bag. The other thing is I think like tea or coffee could be in the public use cabins. I think that is a great idea. I'm writing that down. The only thing I want is you wouldn't really make it in a pot, so I need another like steel vessel to hold it in. So let me do this. Let's try this. So when we jump, I think we can do a very simple way. A very simple way of reducing the energy. We'll pick a rate. 1% seems steep, but we'll see. And eventually what I'll do is I'll apply that curve to it. And it'll be nonlinear, meaning, like I said, so when you're at higher energy, you can jump around all day. No big deal. I do need to clamp it. If stats energy goes below 0, then stats energy equals 0. So now we should see, oh yeah, so it does use energy. It uses a tiny bit of energy. I think that's fine. That's a good change. There needs to be trade-offs in the game. Sometimes certain things are for free. Like you guys who've played it, you know this. Like chopping branches, you don't have to pick them up. I just felt like that was way too grindy to even bother with. I want some small logs, I think. But some things are not for free. That's like a very deliberate game design decision. Let's throw some more logs on here. There's another little game design problem too. With like switching back and forth. Like if I want to throw multiple logs on the fire, I have to do this thing with the scroll wheel. You guys have probably gotten used to that. I don't love it. I think I want to... Yeah, I think this is going to be like the front. This is the front of my building. Right here. My goal for tonight would be to just like... I'm going to cut this guy down, actually. My goal for tonight would be just to have a little place that I can sleep under. And then I'll make it pretty tomorrow. I'm probably going to get the sleepiness modifier soon. If I'm not mistaken. Sawdown tree. Oh, we freezing to death. Okay, the speed modifiers still work. That all looks good. Let's get some heat back in our bones. We gotta sharpen this up anyways. You get a little bit of energy back when you sleep. You guys may not know that, and I can't even remember if it's in the Bushcraft guide. Oh, what does it say? You will need to be at least 10% covered and near fire, stoked to 50% in order to sleep. Sleeping restores some health if the bed you are on lying is insulated. That's a little hidden nugget there. These errors are driving me nuts. I don't know why the refactor caused this. Update caches. Yeah, I'll have to check into that. What's our knife at? The knife is not really... The knife's not really blunting. I guess you don't really use the knife that much. Just kind of a shame, because I feel like you should. Oops, burned myself. Another thing too is that the burn modifier, I can't remember what it does. Another thing that will be coming is once we get health packs and like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, like medical kits. You could heal a burn. Oh, that's weird. Why is there like a big black border around the HP, but not the others? That is really strange. Oh, I do have the burn modifier. Out of sheer curiosity, what does that actually do? Burning? True? Burning? I can, for the life of me, cannot remember what burning actually does. It changes like the points you can get on the round. Like it's... That's just like a gamified thing. If burning, we get the color shader. Okay. What I wanted to do, and I need to make a note of this. What I wanted to do with burning is that burning reduces dexterity. And the intention was, and I don't see it here, is that it should modify how easily tools get damaged. So I think it's in inventory. Yeah. Update tool sharpness and light, damage tool. Stat modifier. Yeah, so burning increases the odds that your tool gets damaged. I think that makes sense. That's probably fine. It kind of sucks. Eventually you'll break things, but I think it makes sense. All right, we really need to get this this bed made. Oh, we're already holding a log. We've got one here. Maybe we can do one this way. No, too far. I'm gonna change strategy. We're gonna grab this log and go to here. I think this should reach. Oh no, it doesn't reach there either. Didn't plan this out very well. Doesn't reach there? That's surprising. I guess I am just using a short log. I want to see if it'll reach here to here. Oh, it's so close. I think it's like just on the... Can I do... Oh, I can do this. That's neat. Well, this hour actually went really fast. Thank you for people who dropped in and asked some questions. Let's chop down this guy. Uh-oh, I'm freezing. And I'm probably gonna get tired modifier soon. Let's stoke this. I'm not even sure if I can correct the tiredness at this point. I'm not sure if that's possible. Oh, okay, I'm wet. That's the problem. Alright, so let's chop this guy up. Hey, I can jump now. Oh, that's so cool. I can jump. We all get a whole new part of the game done, jumping. I know, I've been neglecting it. It's just I've really been annoyed about this menu. I eventually want to get rid of that menu. I think it should be elsewhere. I've just been racking my brain trying to figure out how to do it, where to do it. I'm almost dead. I'm gonna lose this round, aren't I? Yep, I died. Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't work. Cannot find member S tree. On tool button press. What happened here? On tool button pressed. Oh yeah, these don't exist anymore. I think this is just supposed to be now 1, 2, and 3. Will it let us just proceed? Alright. Kind of. Why don't we have a mouse? End round. It says you died. Okay, so we don't get any points. Something didn't run here. This should have happened, but it didn't. Can I do this? Oh, it's like it's not running or something. What's happening here? What is running? Is keyboard. Does it not think it's keyboard? Okay, well that didn't quite work. What I want to do, I guess there's only 8 minutes left in what I originally said my stream was going to be. I'm going to turn this off because this warning is driving me absolutely nuts. This warning can be disabled in project settings. This is an animation mixer. Couldn't resolve track. Warnings. Check invalid track paths. No, we're not doing that anymore. And I want to do this thing with the jumping. Let's see if we can implement that. So we have this curve, jump energy. And I just want to sample it based on what the energy usage is. Var, let's say energy factor is going to be, we got to put in a constant jump energy. Curve, sample. We're going to sample it based on the stats energy. And I think that should work. Energy factor. So that will make it nonlinear. It means at most you lose 1%. I'm actually going to bump this up to 2%. This is going to be really punishing down here. Let's give it a little bit of relief. Let's give it a wee bit of relief at the very end. Okay. See what that feels like. Okay, I'll try one more run. That means I might be on here for a little bit longer. Does this feel fast? Is this walking speed? Mild and calm. Ooh, we got nice weather. That means we can go for a run. Try to find a good place to set up shop. I think a compass would be cool, but I don't know. What I want to do is I want to give the player some way of knowing how to find the mountains, because right now it really is just a big old guessing game. Like, I can kind of see off in that direction that there's mountains. So I'm going to go that way. And mountains are actually a huge advantage in the game. Because once you get up on a slope, you can see the terrain, you can see cabins, you can find lakes. They're pretty huge. Otherwise, you're just running around a wasteland. And everybody on TikTok, every time I post a video on TikTok, people are like, you need to get rocks. You need to put rocks in your game. That's good. What's going to make everything perfect. I'm not disagreeing with them. I'm just saying they love rocks for some reason. In this hour, we almost got a whole... Oh, I read that already, I think. Yeah, jumping. Yeah, I know. And like I said, I feel kind of silly for not... But it will eat up your energy usage. Which is a little bit evil of me, but... Trade-offs. Everything seems to be rendering okay. No more of those debugger warning issues on animation changes. I do want to find out what's going on with... Don't know if I can do this while I'm running here. If I go to the character and I animate... What is it? Sharpen? Knife sharpen? I thought that was fine. But then when we do this, it's definitely not fine. That's way off. It's probably an animation I just missed when I was doing my refactor. Ooh, a cabin. Let's go loot it. This has changed a little bit too. Let's see if this works. Now the trees don't like magically disappear, and they should only appear... There's 2 cabins in the map right now, actually, so this is one of the 2. They should only appear on flat landscape. Oh, that's too bad. There's still trees rendering through it. Okay. So I might need to bring back... Let me bring back that code. Let's see. How hard would that be to do? I think it's in forest tile. Hey, Samafa. One of the changes I made, I'm trying to fix the whole cabin thing. Sometimes they generate in lakes. Sometimes they have trees growing through them. Couldn't tell you why. That's not good. So I'm trying to bring back the old code, which I don't think I deleted. It's either in forest tile or it's in forest. I can't remember. I think it's in... Yeah, it's right here. Did I delete that code? I'm going to be mad at myself if I did. Oh, yeah. Let's do this. I'll add another TBD. August 22nd. Okay, I still need this, actually. Yeah, I don't like this because it's like super artificial. What this does... Oops, watch me crash my game. Yeah, that crashed it. So what that does is it's supposed to pop the trees like out of existence. Because like I just haven't figured out a way to spawn a cabin in a location where there's no trees. The ground is flat. All that stuff. Oh, interesting. We are right on a lake this time. How neat. I don't have a fishing rod or anything though, so it's not super useful. I think I want to get up to that mountain and see if I can see some stuff. Oh, Samafa, we have jumping in the game now. JRZ suggested it. If it makes you feel any better, go way back at Similar Cabin Issues. If I remember correctly, they've got a whole team of big budget and AI. Yeah, I have just me right now. Although I am applying for funding. Don't know if I've mentioned that in the community too much yet, but I am applying for funding. I'm trying to make this more of a real deal game. It's been just my passion project so far. So right now I'm hunting for cabins. It's like one of the game design things I'm trying to figure out, because like if you spawn into a world that has hills and mountains and stuff, the game is definitely easier because you can like just spot things in the distance. So I don't know how to balance that. Sometimes you come into a world and you're just like in a completely flat terrain. And it's kind of, I don't know, unsatisfying maybe. When you're on ice and jumping, it would be more likely to break. Okay, that's a great idea. Thank you. JRZ with all the ideas. Jumping on ice, more likely. It is more likely to break when you're running. Okay, so that is a mechanic. It's not listed anywhere, but if you're running around on the ice, that's a great idea. Looking for the trade-offs on the ice is really important because I don't want ice fishing to just feel for free. If you played the game long enough, you probably realize that if you fish at the right times, early in the morning and late in the evening, you're almost guaranteed to catch a fish. So that part of the meta game is pretty easy once you figure it out, and it's right there in the Bushcraft guide somewhere. Ice fishing, right? So it tells you, right, dawn and dusk, blah, 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 how to get the rarer fish. But yeah, having more and more trade-offs for like why going out on the ice might be risky is a good idea. I don't even know. Am I at the maximum? Oh, I'm not at the maximum LOD level. We got to change that. Oh, this is a bug. This happened earlier too. Oh, it didn't happen just now. Interesting. That's a big mountain. I can't wait to get the like cliff faces in. I'm going to put like big cliff rocks in the side of the mountain. I think that's going to be really, really cool. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, there's a cabin. It doesn't look like it's generated properly. I'm just going to say that now. It looks very suspect. I've tried to fix this mechanic. To no avail so far. So this should remove the trees. Oh yeah, it's a little better. It didn't generate into a slope. Hopefully it looks good on the inside. I don't know, did I do a floor? Did I put in a floor? We still have this issue. I don't know how to fix this. What it's doing is the game is being like, there shouldn't be trees within this radius of the front door. Oh, there's a floor now. Yes. Okay, I forgot I did this. Cabins have floors now, which is cool. I need to do a new sound effect for when you're in the cabin floor. Sound effect for cabin floor. But it's going to be so satisfying to see all this come together. We still have this happening. Sometimes snow gets through, but right now I'm just going to say, sometimes snow gets in your cabin. I don't know. Happens to the best of us. Can feel the vision of it all. Thank you. Yeah, I do actually have a very strong vision for this game, so I'm hoping it can all come together. I'm kind of just testing the collision shapes here, make sure nothing's like really broken. Oh. Okay, because jumping wasn't a thing before, you see. Now we can jump into this, which is not really a thing. We can't jump on this. This is too high. Just by a hair. I'm curious if I were to jump on it, what would happen? Let's give ourselves super jumping abilities. Whee! Oh yeah, that's cool. So that collider works. Would there be any practical reason to have, like, be able to jump really high? Is there any reason you would need to do that in real life? Oh, there's no collision here on the door frame? I didn't know that. It's a thing, when you add jumping, you have to really consider, like, your collision shapes in way more detail. And for the life of me, I can't remember. There should be. Building 1, building 2. Oh, there's not. So if you notice that, I love how your brain can see the mechanics in the code. Yeah, thank you. I'm a programmer. You know, that's my main deal. So that's kind of how I think about games. But if you see, the reason we can clip through the roof here, or the above the door frame, is because I didn't actually put in a collision shape for there. Because I said, there's no jumping. Why would I need to? We can test out the fire mechanic too. Make sure this all still works with no bugs. I need to get some stuff. I need to get some branches and some firewood. And some tinder. So Mathla, you weren't here earlier, but I was saying, like, it doesn't look like too much has changed. I did clean up the animations a little bit, so they're a little bit smoother when you switch between tools. But I did do like a giant refactor of all the code under the hood. So on the stream, there's like a number of things that have been broken that I've kind of fixed. It always happens whenever you do a big change of the code. You'll randomly stumble across stuff that breaks. What do I want? Firewood. Alright, so let's make sure the cabin fire still works. I just realized that I think there's no limit on how much fire you can have currently, and I think that is a little strange from a design perspective. What's happening there? Why is that arrow all tiny? Is that a bug? Okay, interesting. Oops, burned myself. Okay, so there's some firewood on there. If we close the door, the light is gone, and we should be able to see the smoke outside. Yeah, shovel is coming. That's right. Shovel is definitely coming. There's some weird stuff too. Like, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is gonna work. We can try it, but I'm pretty sure now. I could dig the snow right here if I really wanted. Which is like, this is kind of fun in a really weird way. Like, I want to clean my cabin, right? I want to, like, get the snow out of my cabin. It's game design. It's always so fun when these, like, little unexpected things happen. I can't dump the snow on the cabin floor. I'm not letting you do that, I guess. Oh, I put in these steps. I have this little step here, which is kind of neat. Just dump it outside. There you go. Can't really see it. I need to work on the snow texture. Snow is way harder than I thought it was going to be to work on. So we can sit by the fire just like you can outside. That's not supposed to happen, I guess. But yeah, let me make a note of that. Cabin fire, or fire inside cabin stove goes outside the stove. Honestly, I appreciate how it goes on to honestly appreciate how much goes into the things, which don't manifest as a big shiny new aesthetics. So I'm looking at it like, huh, nothing's changed. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you you still being fascinated. I think a lot of players these days only look for the shiny new things. I see it a lot on the survival gaming subreddit, and it's like, you can really see when there's devs who are all they're doing is animating things in Unreal and like slapping together a bunch of models and stuff, and it's not actually a game. And I mean literally, like there's no physics, there's no game mechanics, there's no game design. They're literally just slapping together like an animated, you know, an animated scene and throwing it up on the subreddit. And like people like that, people end up liking it, and like the art is really good. I'm not trying to bash the art, but it irks me a little bit because it's not really a game. It's like an animation scene. All these collision shapes look good. Can't jump through a window. That's nice. And like the way I'm approaching this game is like you could basically say, ooh, I think I just found another bug. That's funny. Look, coals. The coals generated outside the little thing here. Coal spawning. Coal spawning is also a little buggy inside the stove. Alright, so a couple little cleanups there. So I could do something really wonky, like I could place a pot there. That's not really meant to happen. What the intention is here, and I haven't done it yet, is that once the stove is heated, you can use this top surface to place the pot on, which I don't think you can do right now. Yeah, can't place it there, but I'm going to make a note of that. Place pot on top of stove. I think that'd be cool. So that's pretty cool. I think most of the cabin mechanics are still good. A couple little bugs, little rough edges. Consumables, eat ration. Sure, let's pick up the auger. And I really need to fix this too. When you pick up a tool, I do want you to be able to use it. Pick up tool, should be able to use right away. In some cases, like in the case of the auger, I think, yeah, you can't use it right away until you do this in your skill tree. So you wouldn't be able to use it anyways, but it should go here. It should go in your tools inventory. There's a bit of a design issue there. Can I close the door? Cool. I just realized, does time pass at all when you're in the cabin? It doesn't, right? I don't think it does. But I'm wondering if it got any darker outside. That's really interesting. Okay. All right, well, I do have to go soon. I think this was good, though. The only thing that's really bothering me is this. I don't know how this animation broke so badly, and I'm actually curious if this is broken in the playtest right now. Like, it just looks way off. A couple little things like that, but honestly, it was a decent playtest session. I think the reason that this game is going to work out for me is that I just, as a developer, like, a lot of developers get caught in a trap where they don't enjoy playing their own game, and I've been in that trap myself before. The good thing about Bushcraft Survival is that I enjoy playing it. Like, I would want to keep playing this now. You know, especially if I had, like, my ice fishing gear and stuff, I would definitely want to go ice fishing. So I'm happy about that, definitely. It's given me a lot of motivation to want to continue with the game. Definitely shows. Yeah, thank you. And I think, am I playing? Yeah, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty here, so I'm probably not going to survive this round. I probably could if I really tried. Like, is my fire still lit in the cabin, for instance? Oh, that I lost. Oh, straight ahead. Oh, I love this too. Like, when the sun sets on the horizon, it's so nice. Can't really tell if the snow is too white at this time of day. It's supposed to start gently fading once it gets really dark. The snow is not supposed to be quite so contrasting. My fire's still going, So I might be able to get some snow, potentially. Spent a while just watching the sky. Yeah, it's honestly, it's one of those things it's turned out much better than I even expected. It's really, really cozy. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to take it much further than that in terms of the sky system. So yeah, because of this little weird bug, I can technically place this right there. And I could drink some water. That's funny. Didn't even knock it over. Oops. So yeah, I think things are actually really stable right now. No bugs thrown. This is the dehydration shader. I'm worried this is going to give people motion sickness, but it doesn't really do anything to your stats yet, but I want this to be like the early warning sign being like, hey, you are extremely dehydrated. You need to go drink some water. Otherwise, you will die. There's a little rendering glitch there, I think, maybe. What is that? What are we looking at? I can't remember the purpose of scattering the coals. I don't even know why that's an option, but you can do it. You can scatter them. I'll have to think about that. I think probably had some idea of what I wanted to do there, but then didn't do it. Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's a trade-off. I remember when I did this way. I was trying to figure this out a second ago. So when you go inside the cabin, the game timer stops, meaning it's not actually going to progress in terms of the outside like environment, which is like a little weird. But what it does do, like your stats keep changing. Your energy, your hydration, your temperature, all of that is still in play, basically. So that's kind of the trade-off. So cabins are useful, but not that useful. You're still going to get hungry. You're still going to get thirsty. I think what's going to really level this up, like, and make this, just take it to another level, is once you can do trapping, the way I'm going to do trapping is that, you know, rabbits or other small game, they're going to run around and leave footprints in the snow. And, like, once you identify a complete track, so they might have this little loop that they run. Once you've identified all of the footprints in that track, it'll show up on the map. And that's like a trapping trail. And it'll show up on the map, like, in a certain color. And what the game mechanic is going to be is you're going to set snares. You're going to set snares on that trail, and that's going to give you a probability of catching a rabbit. So if you went there, shelter from a blizzard, will getting into the cabin actually not let the blizzard pass? That's a very good question, and I think the answer is no. And I don't quite know how to deal with that, because the big game design problem is that if the game timer proceeds as normal when you're inside the cabin, then people would just go in the cabin and they're not actually going to play the game like in the bush, which is what I want people to do. I just thought of something though that might be a solution, because you do need, that probably should happen. It probably should pass, like the storm probably should pass. I'm wondering if I can stop the survival timer but keep the game timer going. Let me just see, does that currently happen? I don't want to pause the whole game timer. Maybe I just want to pause. Yeah, that's right. I definitely want to encourage them to actually, like, you know, use the bushcrafting skills. Okay, so it does stop the full game timer. I think what I want to do is I want to have it just stop this survival timer. Maybe keep this one going. That's a really good idea, I think. Potentially. I'm going to have to think about that. Because it might solve the issue of, like, time is still passing, but not passing towards your goal, if that makes sense. I think that's done in here. Maybe it's done in here. I can't remember. It's been too long. Yeah, so check shelter. Oh, sorry, we're freezing to death. Is this still... Oh, our fire's out. The coals are still there. That's kind of interesting. Neat. That's a really good idea. I'm going to make a note of that. Maybe just stop survival timer, not full game clock when inside cabin. Yeah, because I think that would still achieve the same objective. Still have some of these bugs. This one should just be 1. What is this bug? Set tree. Okay, I'm going to stop the stream here. So thanks everybody for joining. Yeah, I'll probably do this again sometime. Hang around the Discord. Please ask me any questions if you have them. But otherwise...